exploring lakes, rivers, and reservoirs across the country with an unyielding goal to enlighten viewers from a fisheye perspective. Come along and we'll investigate the habitat. Much more than a fishing show. This is an eye-opening aquatic experience. Welcome to Kim Stricker's Hook and Look. There's a condition, a sense of inexorable resolve that competitive anglers rely on whenever pressured to succeed. This state of mind is most commonly referred to as tournament mode. As confidence dwindles, a somber sense of doubt begins to take hold. Don't panic. Think. Fall back on your experience and focus on the task at hand. Begin by ridding your mind of all preconceptions. Then, quickly explore your options with steadfast determination. Like the saying goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Search a variety of depths, utilizing lures you have confidence in. If deep presentations fail to produce, experiment at mid-depths, then shallow. Remember, persistence is key, and allow the imminent deadline to fuel your tenacity. Eventually, a clue will materialize.
What a hefty fish. That's what I'm talking about. Persistence, persistence. Z, what's up?
Kim Zona. But I got to be honest with you. I think I got something right up your alley, man. I was right outside of Travers about 3 weeks ago with the kids, and dude, we wrecked them on a lake right outside of town. Granted, it was a few weeks ago, but deep wood, 27, 40 feet of water, and the ones were living on it, if you know what I mean.
That would make a great Humminbird show.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey bud, do me a favor. Knock their lights up. Oh, I hear you. Hook and look. Hook and look. Hook and look.
And so it is with newly found confidence and great appreciation that Kim and Danny Stricker set forth on another quest in search of sunken remnants of northern Michigan's once flourishing logging industry.
I'm using 80 feet to the right and the left, so I got a little better detail. I could go wider to cover more ground, but seeing all these spots are along that 25 to 30 foot edge, this works out just fine, and you get better detail. There's a little bit on our left there. Nice big long log, look at that thing. You might want to mark that too. Just like a flashlight would cast a shadow with its beam pointed directly at an object, so does the side imaging sonar. When an object stops the sonar signal, it creates an acoustic shadow, which is displayed on the screen. This shadow provides us with more detailed information, most prominently, the height of the structure. Water temperature is 71. But you can see how the bait is out here in that deeper water. There he is. Ooh, that's a good one too. There he is. Yeah, no, he's not a giant. It's not a giant. Not a giant. Regardless of the suspended bait balls, I knew that crayfish are abundant in this lake, and I've chosen to drop shot rig a baby rodent right alongside the deep logs. Come on, baby. Mr. Smallmouth. There he is. There he is. This is a decent fish, I think. This, yeah, he feels pretty good. Yeah, he's not a giant. He's a decent fish. Definitely a decent smallmouth. All right. A little chunky. Now he ate that little baby rodent. It's gone now, but that ain't all bad. Look how pale they are in this lake. Oh, we'll get down there and catch another one. Heck yeah. That feels like a good one. I think that's a smallmouth. Yes, that's a smallmouth. And there ain't nothing wrong with him. He's not giant, but he's a good, respectable fish, I think. Yep. Well, look how they look in that clear water. But see, he was up on that moss. Come on, that here. Yes. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But weren't as deep as I thought you were gonna be. Ha-ha. That wood is out in 28 foot of water, and there's some smallmouth on it. The water had been warmer, but it's starting to cool a little bit. It's about 8 degrees cooler than it was a couple of weeks ago. And these fish might be coming up now.
Coming up, we'll get a first-hand look at the sunken timber from our hook and look point of view. Stick around. Hook and Look is brought to you by Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better. Seagar, always the best. And by Boat US Angler. Welcome back to Hook and Look. After a somewhat disappointing morning, Kim and Danny are curious as to why the morning's efforts have yielded only a few less than stellar fish, especially after Mark Zona's boisterous recommendation. So the two descend to the lake bottom for a closer look.
Most of the isolated logs we came upon were vacant. Some were holding a few rock bass and undersized smallmouths. That's the way it usually is when we dive an area. We typically see what we had been catching. Rarely are there any surprises. And just like fishing, eventually we stumble upon a log holding the kind of smallmouth we're looking for.
Dad, check it out. I've got a good bass here. A good sized one, too. Oh, man. Look at this 3.5 to 4 pound smallie hanging right on this log. And he keeps coming back. He wants to stay on that log, doesn't he? He's a nice fish. Appears to be pretty friendly. More like aggressive. You're right.
Smallmouth bass are edge-oriented and will seek out isolated structures to hold on as well as use as signposts as they travel throughout the lake. Bass are quick learners, and I can pretty much assure you this fish is familiar with every isolated log in this area. An additional fish-holding characteristic of these isolated logs is the patchy sandgrass that grows alongside of them. The sandgrass attracts crayfish, offering them a place to hide and burrow the holes they reside in. The presence of crayfish in turn attracts the smallmouths. This smallmouth is about to commit crayfish interruptus as it noses down on an amorous pair of crayfish. Those two should get a room. An intriguing piece of structure we discovered while side imaging appeared to be holding a whole school of fish. Looking at the screen, you'll notice that my boat's path was directly over the structure, splitting the image on both the left and the right side of the boat. You can also tell that this was my second pass over the structure because of the telltale water turbulence detected on the screen caused from my engine idling by the first time. Most importantly, however, you can easily distinguish the large school of fish hovering over the structure. This is the structure, This is the school.
Oh, look at this, Danny. This is the spot. Oh, wow. Man, check it out. Rock bass all over it. That's what we've been seeing on our fish finder. Schools of rock bass, just like we thought. Just like we thought. Super thick. This is a man-made fish attractor somebody planted. And boy, there's some hog rock bass here, too. I mean, some giants. But I don't see a single smallmouth, do you? I haven't seen any smallmouth. Well, that explains why I only caught rockies here.
Well, it appears this has been another case of you should have been here yesterday. For whatever reason, there's just times when informative intentions and trustworthy recommendations don't quite pan out like we hope. And so, considering the demands of a tight schedule, Kim will make a judgment call in an effort to salvage the show when Hook and Look returns. Welcome back. A question often asked is, how many days does it take to film a Hook and Look show? Well, if all goes well, it can be done in 2 days, but more often, 3. Typically, Kim makes every effort to complete enough quality catches the first day and capture the underwater footage the next. But just in case, he usually schedules a 3rd day on location, if needed. Considering sponsor obligations during a shoot, cinematic value, and the pressure to perform within an allotted time, when things don't quite go according to plan, it can be a laborious task, thus forcing Kim into what he refers to as tournament mode. Day 2 has brought wind with it, and in an effort to salvage a show, our host has chosen to abandon the deep structure pattern and desperately search new water in hopes of locating some quality smallmouths. He begins by cranking a 6XD crankbait along an outside weed edge, again yielding less than satisfactory results.
Yes.
Taking into consideration the wind, he now decides to move shallow while fan casting a Premier Plus spinnerbait in hopes of a better outcome.
When we fish so hard in that deep water, looking and trying, and it gets aggravating, and you kind of go into tournament mode. You got to catch something. You got to put it together. Well, I'm going to figure it out.
Now, with the increasing wind to his back, Kim switches his shallow water presentation to one of his favorite smallmouth staples, Strike King's 4-inch caffeine shad, and a well-deserved clue emerges.
There he is. There's a good fish. Oh, yes. On that caffeine shad. Oh, man, I went back to basics. And catching the good ones. Oh, get up here. Get up here. Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Come on up here, darling. Yeah, there's a nice smallmouth. Shallow. I've been fishing deep like crazy. Figures, middle of the summer. Who'd think they'd be up this shallow? Oh, is that nice? Little 4-inch caffeine shad. And got them right good. That nice, healthy, chunky smallmouth. Finally. I'm gonna catch me another one. Finally a sign. Let's see if we'll drift that flat. This wind, I've got to throw the caffeine shad with the wind. It's too light to throw into it. And I'll use my drift paddles as we drift across this big flat out here. Keep your fingers crossed. There he goes. Oh, yeah. Come on. Dig, 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 dig. He's not that big. He thinks he is, though. That's bigger than I thought he was. A couple of pounds. That is so much fun. Huh? I can drop those poles. Double tap. And down they go. There we are. Yeah. Not bad.
Don't go away. Kim's tenacity appears to be paying off. This portion of Hook and Look is brought to you by Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure. Deep Blue Coffee. Dive in. Ranger Boats. Still building legends, one at a time. And by Evinrude E-Tech. Power, performance, and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance.
Power Pole drift paddles were the 2012 ICAST New Product Showcase winner. With the drift paddles, you can now use your Power Pole anchors to accurately control your drift speed and angle at the touch of a button. They eliminate the need for a drift sock and actually slow your boat's drift up to 50% while you cast without interruption. Each drift paddle has 7 quick change positions that cover a full 180 degrees and features a taper design for precise drift speed control. Constructed out of a UV stable polymer that flexes with the Power Pole spike for maximum stability. Power Pole drift paddles, another innovative tool from JL Marine Systems. We're in that 5 to 6 foot of water before it comes up shallow here and across that flat. Let's do it again.
As his confidence builds, Kim establishes a cadence, a rhythm of a few quick jerks, then a pause. It seems quite apparent that a group of active smallmouths are working this shallow area, and most likely, the blustery wind is contributing to this productive scenario. Kim recognizes the fact, focuses, and proceeds to fully capitalize on this window of opportunity.
There we go. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Right, I mean, he was right on that lip of the shallow sand. And a nice fish. Yeah. Golly. He was shallow. Oh, yes, that's a nice chunk. Nice chunk. That's been caught before. You can see the mouth torn there. Oh, easy, easy. Very nice. Figuring something out. Definitely. A soft plastic jerkbait, the caffeine shad. A soft plastic jerkbait has been a staple for me. It helped me put me in the Bassmaster Classic. It's done a lot. Boy, look, he poked me. But when things get tough, I can't believe how shallow that was. I'm gonna try some shallower stuff. For weightless soft plastic presentations, especially in clear water, I spool up with Tatsu double structure fluorocarbon line. One reason is that it's virtually invisible underwater, but mostly because it's denser than mono and sinks well, allowing me to utilize the caffeine shad most effectively. Presenting this lure weightless is critical because it displays an erratic action when rigged in this fashion. Adding any weight directly to a soft plastic jerkbait will hinder the action. Tatsu fluorocarbon line provides the correct weight needed to allow the bait to sink while maintaining this fish catching action. Should be another one here. There's one right there. Oh, get it, get it. He's got it. He's got it, he's got it. He's a good one. Oh, that is a good one. Real good one. Ooh, he came through. Oh, look at that. That's the one I've been looking for. Oh, yeah. Yes. Come on over here. Get my net. Oh, man. That's the one I've been looking for. What a chunk. Chunk right in the tongue. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at that. Ha ha ha, man. Eating them smelt. That's the thing about the caffeine shad. It looks like a smelt. And I mean, if that's their natural food in this lake, boy, they love it. Look how shallow. I mean, it's still, you know, it's mid-August. We're in the middle of summer. What a hefty fish. That's what I'm talking about. Persistence, persistence. Eliminate water, fish deep, fish mid-range, and cover a lot of things, but whew, I like it. Well, next time I hope Zona calls me when his pattern's happening, not 3 weeks later, but we do appreciate him thinking of us. So, partner, next week we mosey on down to the ranch with Strike King President John Barnes. Texas largemouth feed on bluegills, and the Raid shellcracker can really rope them doggies. Join us then on
Hook and Look.
Hook and Look is a Kim Stricker production.